What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the other side of the Firewall podcast, where we talk about the latest and greatest in cybersecurity news, as well as we highlight those movers and shakers and glass ceiling breakers, those people of color who made it to the other side of the proverbial firewall. My name is Ryan Williams, and as always, I'm joined by Shannon Tynes.
What's up? What's up?
What's going on? Welcome to another week of the podcast. Please continue to tune in. So, as I always say, Monday and Tuesday are topics, Wednesday's discussion, and then Fridays are everything else. So, if you're tuning in to a Friday episode first, you're probably like, "What is this?" It's movies, books, games, like non-cyber security related stuff. So, please continue to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Without further ado, I'll give it to Shannon.
All right, everybody. So this article is actually from NBCnews.com. And so this one's written by Kevin Collier, and the title is Student Psychological Reports Abuse Allegations Leaked by Ransomware Hackers. So these ransomware hackers, man, they're getting out of control. So they actually they actually broke into a Minneapolis public school district, right, earlier in the year. And there's a bunch of files that have highly sensitive documents on school children, teachers, it has teacher social security numbers, behavioral issues with some of the students, psychological reports even. So these files actually first appeared online back in March, and they said they had been a victim of a ransomware attack, right? So NBC News, actually the site that wrote this, they were actually to download some of the documents, reviewed about 500 files, and they're pretty sure it's legit, right? So some of them were printed on school letterhead. There was a folder set that had the Minneapolis school names on them, but this is one of those things where people are ruthless, you know what I mean? Like I guess let me not say they're ruthless, right? I guess this is a good target, right? It's kind of like how people talk about soft targets and who to hit. I guess this is a good target, right? Because the school district themselves, you already know they're not spending a lot of money on IT. They're not getting a lot of money for IT, right? They're not getting what they need to teach the children appropriately, first off, right? So for them to invest in IT, we already know it's a little lacking, right? But this is one of those things where you hit something like this is when it's going to get a lot of attention, because parents are going to be like, hey, I don't want information about my children out there. And they're going to get loud, right? They're going to be out there. They're going to be talking about, hey, what are you doing to make sure my children's information doesn't get out there, and things of that nature. But so it is a soft target, but this is why we got to do better, right? Like, this is one of those things where you already have a problem retaining teachers. And then if you can't secure their PII or PHI even, right? Like, what's the incentive for them to go out there and do something that they may love? You know what I mean? If it's going to cost them so much in the future, already not, yeah, in my opinion, right? It's just the opinion of Shannon Tynes. You don't pay them enough, right? Which is why you get some that seem like they don't really care, right? But then to have their social security numbers out there, possible accusations, you know what I mean? That's not to say that what they've done is really true, right? But any accusations against them get put out there, and then it becomes a court of public opinion, right? What happens then? It gets out there, people see it, and automatically someone's labeled as an abuser of children, no matter how, before they've even gone through the process of verification to determine whether or not everything is good. So this is what we got to keep doing, right? We got to keep making sure that our schools, are protected appropriately, because we've already seen schools, hospitals, water treatment plants, things of this nature, like they're under attack, right? Cyber attack. This is what they're aiming for. So they actually have a quote in here from Doug Levin, the director of the K-12 Security Information Exchange, and he said school districts really should be treating this more like nuclear waste, right? So the school now, like after the fact, is working with external specialists and law enforcement to review the data, right? But it's already too late. Like, it's already out there. And I know me and you, Ryan, we kind of had this conversation offline where I was like, why is this something the school should be holding themselves, right? Why is there not someone who specializes in some type of security, or who has better security to store these type of things, like a portal for them to log into, or things of that nature, right? To have the schools be responsible for this themselves, it just doesn't seem like something they should be doing, right? Like, it's not like they're investing, like I said before, a lot of money into this. So at what point do we say, hey, let the people that know what they're doing take care of this, and then just have that third party do it for you? You know what I mean? But yeah, the parents feel like their hands are tied with some of this stuff, right? Like, so they're getting notified. And this is another thing that comes from this, right? So they tell you to watch out, because what ends up happening after an attack like this, right? You start getting the notifications saying, hey, you've been attacked, pay us this money to protect your identity. And that's also a scam, right? So you get the ransomware, attack, and then you get, the follow-on phishing from that, right? Like, it's one of those things where these bad actors, they know it's going to pay off for them. But yeah, we got to do better, man. Like, it's just, I don't want to see things like this, you know what I mean? So, like, especially when it comes to your children, nobody likes to see their children harmed in this way, where psychological reports get out there. And people are ruthless nowadays when it comes to being online too, you know what I mean? So your child's report's going to end up a meme or something. I don't know. Is that how people go viral today? I don't know. I don't have social media. I don't know if that's how it happens, you know what I mean? But Ryan, what's your thoughts on this, man?
Yeah, 100% agree. Like that's going to be the far-reaching issue, right? Like you said, it starts off as a ransomware attack where they're just trying to get the money, but then down the road, it can turn to, like you said, phishing, and then cyberbullying, um, and damage to reputation. So like these young kids, I don't believe if they say it's grade school, middle school, what have you, but if they have like behavioral issues or something like that, this might resurface in their adult time, right? Like when they become an adult, then this gets published again, like they had some kind of misconduct or they did something wrong, and it can be held over their head far in the future. So like one of the parents, a parent teacher, said that she's running out of ideas, right? She said that I locked my credit, I locked my child's credit. I don't know what to do beyond that. Because that's, if socials are out there addresses things of that nature, like you don't know when you're going to get hit. Like this may be sold and repackaged later down the line, years to come, or resurface, and then all of a sudden you didn't suspect it, but the child's 17, 21, something like that. Now the credit gets hit, like somebody bought a boat, you know what I mean, or what have you, off of their credit, and ruin their credit. So like LifeLock's not going to fix this, right? So how do you protect these people? And then, like you said, what does the future look like? Like, um, I'm not into over regulation, but I think that if they're receiving federal funds, like some of this stuff should be architected, or the solution should come from the federal government. Like, okay, so we're not doing a good job in this respect, right? Like we've done the surveys, like CISA's come in, they've conducted their assessments and what have you, and we've determined that we're going to have a federal database that schools will now put their stuff into that'll be protected. Because like you said, it's kind of hodgepodge, right? It's ad hoc. Like this school might do it this way, this school might do it that way. The report, stated big figures like 122 public school districts in the U.S. have been hit with ransomware since 2021, and more than half, 76%, was the result of hackers leaking sensitive school and student data. So like now it's to the point where it needs to be regulated. Someone needs to do some oversight of this material and information, because the schools just can't do it themselves. Like you said, their resources are low, and then you have to prioritize. So you're going to prioritize supplies and books for the kids, or are you going to put it towards IT to try to protect their information? Like that balance perhaps shouldn't be put in individual hands. It should be more regulated across the board. So that's probably what the future looks like. But in this case, like you said, that teacher data for potential misconduct is now out there. So like this is going to ruin teachers' reputations. Like they might not be able to recover even if they were innocent. And then the children who were harmed, now that could be used against them and weaponized as well, right? Cyberbullying and things of that nature, blackmail, like it just goes on and on and on. So like in the report, it said this is probably the worst they've seen it. Like, so this is like one of the worst attacks on a school or on a district since they started tracking this type of information. So like this I think this should be getting even more news and attention. I have not seen it on like the national spotlight aside from this article. And who's to say that this one is actually the worst? Maybe this one is the worst one that's been reported, right? There might be worse breaches out there that we just have not seen or heard about just yet, because it took months for this one to come out, right? Like this wasn't recent. The article was recent, but this attack happened
I think
a little while back.
I think it was March.
So it wasn't that far gone, but because parents had to be notified, right? Like to try to get ahead of the phishing attacks. Like, yeah, don't click those links, because now they have your phone numbers and all this other stuff. And like those, like you said, are soft targets, right? Like people who just are going to react. And then if I even think they said that there was a video montage put together to try to prove, you know what I mean? Like this is the ransomware gang proving the evidence. Like so they put it out there for public consumption, which is atypical. Usually it's a darknet website, hard to find. This one was a little bit more public because they're boasting like we have all this stuff, right? This is a this one deserves limelight and attention. We've done something new and unique, right? Like they're trying to bolster their profile because of it. So terrible in general. So hopefully this does gain more national attention, and then the federal government will step in and hopefully provide a better solution for securing this data. So you know, hate to see it. Like, you know, usually we say we love to see it. No, I hate to see it. Like this is pretty bad. So hopefully this will spur discourse and some kind of talk with people who key stakeholders, you know, that actually can do something about this is what the hope is. So you know, we'll keep posted on this article. Like later on in the week, we discuss another Microsoft article based upon the one that we talked about last week, right? So there's continuity there. So as this progresses, we'll bring it back on the show and see what's being done to hopefully fix this situation and keep it from happening again. So definitely stay tuned for that. I did not do it in the middle of the episode like I was supposed to, but at the end, please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. You know, that call to action, share with your friends. We should be migrating to a new platform soon, so it shouldn't be a big change for listeners, but we'll have a little bit better production value. So there you go. And a landing page and all that good stuff. So definitely tune in for all that. Hit up all the websites that go by our name. You can hit me up personally. I'm at RY Security Guy. That's RY Security Guy. I'm on Twitter, LinkedIn, and Clubhouse. Stay safe, stay secure.